No, you are welcome to class. In this special lesson on conversation bordering around school activities, we're going to cover the following areas. Number one, activities from home between parents and their children. Number two, school activities involving students and pupils and their school teachers and the environment around the school. Number three, we're going to look into closing and going home activities. And then finally, we consider return back home and conversation between parents and their children. We're going to start right away from activities beginning from the home. Let's look at them one by one. First, prepare to go to school. This is a conversation between parent and the child. What do we say? How do we say that in Igbo language? We say kwado iga ụlọ akwụkwọ. Please pay attention to the colors because they are meant to guide you on the meaning of each word or phrase as it relates to Igbo language. You cannot watch any of our videos without learning a new word, a new phrase, or a new sentence construction. So pay rapt attention to the colors. We'll move on from here. Having said this to the child, what will the child say? He said, it's okay, I am preparing. In Igbo, that means ọ dị mma, ana m akwado. Ọ dị mma, ana m akwado. It's okay, I'm preparing. Let's continue the conversation from home. Put on your school uniform. What is that in Igbo? Yinye uwe ụlọ akwụkwọ gị. Yinye uwe ụlọ akwụkwọ gị. Put on your school uniform. What will the child say? I have put it on. And Igbo, that means eyinyego m ya. Eyinyego m ya. I put it on. Let's move on from there. How about your shoes? The mother asked. How about your shoes? And that means kedu maka akpụkpọ ụkwụ gị. Kedu maka akpụkpọ ụkwụ gị. Of course, you can see from the color code that akpụkpọ ụkwụ is shoes. You can guess the remaining one from their colors. And let's see the response from the child. It's here. What is that in Igbo? Ọ dị ebe a. Ọ dị ebe a is here. Move on from there. Clean it well, the mother says. What is that in Igbo? Hichaa ya nke ọma. Hichaa ya nke ọma. Of course, you can see from the colors that hichaa is clean. Nke ọma is well. Hichaa ya nke ọma. Let's hear from the child. Help me put on my shoes, or help me put on shoes. What is that in Igbo? Nyere m aka iyinye akpụkpọ ụkwụ. Nyere m aka iyinye akpụkpọ ụkwụ. Help me to put on shoes. And let's move on from there. Eat your breakfast, the mother says. What is that in Igbo? Rie nri ụtụtụ. From the color, you can see that nri ụtụtụ is breakfast. So, rie nri ụtụtụ gị is eat your breakfast. We move on from here. Now, let us go. After eating, we have to go to school. What is that in Igbo? Ngwa ka anyị gaa. Ngwa ka anyị gaa. Now, let us go. The child says, school bus has not come. Mom, what is that in Igbo? Ụgbọala ụlọ akwụkwọ abịabeghị. Ụgbọala ụlọ akwụkwọ abịabeghị. Of course, you can see from the color that ụgbọala is bus or vehicle generally. Then, abịabeghị is has not come. Abịabeghị. The opposite of abịala is abịabeghị, has not come. That is what the child said. Let's see what the mother says to that. It's okay. Let us wait a bit. What is that in Igbo? Ọ dị mma ka anyị chere obere. Ọ dị mma ka anyị chere obere. Match the colors with the words or each word to understand their individual meanings. Ọ dị mma ka anyị chere obere. It's okay. Let us wait a bit. Let's move on. Have you arranged your lunch bag? Asked the mother. What is that in Igbo? Idozigo akpa nri gị. From the color, you can see that akpa nri is lunch bag. Idozie or idozigo is have you arranged? And the child says, let me check it. What is that in Igbo? Kam leta ya. Kam leta ya. Please match the colors with the words. Kam leta ya. Let me check it. Let's move on. The bus has come. The child screamed. The bus has come. What is that in Igbo? Ụgbọala abịago. Ụgbọala abịago. And he's running to meet the bus. And the mother says, let us go out quickly. What is that in Igbo? Ewo ka anyị pụọ ọsọ ọsọ. Some will call this pụọ. They will replace this O with A. Pụọ ọsọ ọsọ, whichever one you prefer. Ewo ka anyị pụọ ọsọ ọsọ. Let us go out quickly to meet the boss. They are firing into the bus, but it does not stop there. They say something to the driver. Driver, please wait for us. We are going in. What is that in Igbo? Ọkwọ ụgbọ, biko chere anyị. From the colors, you can see that ọkwọ ụgbọ is driver. Ọkwọ ụgbọ, biko chere anyị. Driver, please wait for us. We move on from there. Well, after loading, the child says to the mom, bye, mom. What is that in Igbo? Ka emesịa nne. Ka emesịa nne. And the mother says, safe journey, my child. What is that in Igbo? Ijeọma nwam. Ijeọma nwam. Safe journey, my child. Move on. Now we've got to school. What do we say, or how do we converse in the school premises now? Let's begin. Let us come down from the bus, says the teacher in the bus. Let us come down from the bus. What is that in Igbo? Ka anyị ritue n'ụgbọala. Ka anyị ritue n'ụgbọala. Let us come down from the bus. Let's move on. It's time to gather for assembly. The bell is ringing. What is that in Igbo? Ọ bụ oge izukọ n'ama. Ọ bụ oge izukọ n'ama. It's time to gather for assembly or at assembly point. Ọ bụ oge izukọ n'ama. Let's move on. Everybody should line up, says the teacher. What is that in Igbo? Onye ọbụla kwụọ n'ahịrị. Onye ọbụla kwụọ n'ahịrị. Everybody line up. That is that in Igbo. And during the assembly, there is an instruction. Listen to the following announcement, says the teacher. What is that in Igbo? Gee ntị n'ọkwa ndị a. Gee ntị n'ọkwa ndị a. Listen to the following announcement. Of course, you can see from the color that ọkwa is announcement. Gee ntị is listen to or listen. Listen to the following announcement. Gee ntị n'ọkwa ndị a. After the assembly, now enter your classroom. And in Igbo, that means umua, banye na class again. You can see from here that class has no clear interpretation in Igbo. So we borrowed class, but we Igbonize it. That is, change it to Igbo. That is called code switching and adoption. We Igbonize it, becomes class. So umua, banye na class again. That is, now enter your classroom. Let's move on from here. Inside the class, the student or pupil tell their teacher, welcome teacher. What is that in Igbo? Ndewo onye nkuzi. You can either use ndewo or no. Both are the same. So if you choose to use ndewo, it's also right. If you choose to use no, both represents welcome in Igbo language. Ndewo onye nkuzi. Welcome, teacher. Let's move on. What is the teacher's response? He says, thank you, students. Thank you, students. What is that in Igbo? Daalụnụ ụmụ akwụkwọ. Daalụnụ ụmụ akwụkwọ. Two words can be used here. Either imeela or daalụ. Both are correct. So whichever you prefer, imeela or daalụnụ ụmụ akwụkwọ, or imeela na ụmụ akwụkwọ. Thank you, students. Let's move on from here. Everybody bring your homework, the teacher says. Everybody bring out your homework. What is that in Igbo? Onye ọbụla weta ihe omume ụlọ ya. So ihe omume ụlọ is homework. Ihe omume is work or assignment. Ụlọ is home. So ihe omume ụlọ is homework. Onye ọbụla weta ihe omume ụlọ ya. Everybody bring your homework. And what did pupil say? See mine, see mine. And what is pupil are saying? What is that? Lee nkem. That's Igbo version. Lee nkem, see mine, see mine. They are telling their teachers. Let's move on, and then lesson begins. Our lesson today is Igbo language. And what is that in Igbo? It's ihe ọmụmụ anyị taa bụ asụsụ Igbo. Ihe ọmụmụ. Of course, you can see from the color that ihe ọmụmụ is lesson. And here, of course, you see from the color is R. Ihe ọmụmụ anyị taa bụ asụsụ Igbo. Ihe ọmụmụ anyị taa is asụsụ Igbo. Our lesson today is Igbo language. Ihe ọmụmụ anyị taa bụ asụsụ Igbo. Let's move on. Bring out your exercise book, says the teacher again. What is that in Igbo? Wepụta akwụkwọ ide ihe gị. Wepụta akwụkwọ ide ihe gị. Akwụkwọ ide ihe is exercise book, as you can see from the colors. Akwụkwọ ide ihe gị, exercise book, wepụta ya, bring it out. And the students say, oh, one of them say, I have forgotten my pencil. Oh, very sorry about that. What is that in Igbo? Echefuela m mkpịsị akwụkwọ m. Mkpịsị akwụkwọ, as you can see from the color, is pencil or pen. All of them, we call them mkpịsị akwụkwọ in Igbo language. Mkpịsị is actually finger. So it's like finger for writing. Mkpịsị akwụkwọ. So, echefuela m mkpịsị akwụkwọ m. I have forgotten my pencil or pen, as the case may be. Sorry about that. Let's move on. We will write text now. What is that in Igbo language? Anyị ga-ede ule nnwale ugbu a. As you can see from the color, ule nnwale is test. Ule nnwale is test. Anyị ga-ede ule nnwale ugbu a. We will write test now. And he gave further instruction. Answer the following questions. In Igbo it is, zaa ajụjụ ndị a na-eso. Zaa ajụjụ ndị a na-eso. You can see from the color clearly that za is answer. Zaa ajụjụ ndị a na-eso. Ajụjụ ndị a is questions. Na-eso is following. The colors are explanatory enough. Let's move on. Time up after writing. Stop writing, says the teacher. What is that in Igbo? Oge ezugo, kwụsị ide. Oge ezugo, kwụsị ide. Time up, stop writing. It is time for lunch. Time for lunch. The children are always happy to hear this. Let's see what that means in Igbo. Ọ bụ oge nri ehihie. Ọ bụ oge nri ehihie. As you can see from the color that nri ehihie is lunch. Nri ehihie. Ọ bụ oge nri ehihie. It's time for lunch. Let's move on. Let us go out for break. After eating our lunch, we go out for exercise. Let's go out for break. What is that in Igbo? Ka anyị pụọ maka ezumike. Ka anyị pụọ maka ezumike. You can see that ezumike is break or rest time. Ezumike is rest time or break. Ka anyị pụọ maka ezumike. Let us go out for break. Now break is over. Coming, says the teacher. Break is over. Coming. What is that in Igbo? Oge ezumike agafego, bata n'ime. Oge ezumike agafego, bata n'ime. Break time is over. Come in. Let's move on. Now school is over. What do we say when school is over? Let's continue. We have closed school for today. What is that in Igbo? Anyị agbasago akwụkwọ nke taa. Anyị agbasago akwụkwọ nke taa. And the children are happy jumping out of the class. But the teacher says further instructions. Remember to do your homework. What is that in Igbo? Cheta ime ihe omume ụlọ gị. Cheta, of course you can see from the color that cheta is remember. Ime ihe omume ụlọ gị. Very clear. That is an instruction. It didn't stop there. Say, obey your mother and father, which is lubere nne na nna gị isi. So, lubere isi, rube isi is obey. Though the way it is arranged, the isi came last year. You can also say rube isi nye nne na nna gị. But here we say lubere nne na nna gị isi. All is correct. Obey your mother and father. Move on from here. We will see tomorrow, says the teacher. What is that in Igbo? Anyị ga-ahụ echi. Anyị ga-ahụ echi. We will see tomorrow. Then the bus is waiting for you, says the driver. The bus is waiting for you. And what is that in Igbo? Ụgbọala na-eche unu. Ụgbọala na-eche unu. Quickly. And they go, and teacher says goodbye after they are filing into the bus, which is ka emesia, goodbye. Now, back home from school. Let's see what happens between the pupil, students, and their parents. Now, welcome my children, says the father joyfully. What is that in Igbo? No, umuntakirim. No, umuntakirim. Welcome my children for that conversation. Thank our dad, the children says. What is that? Dalu or emaila nani, whichever is correct. Dalu or emaila nani. Thank our father or our dad for that conversation. How was school today? Says the caring father. What is that in Igbo? Kedu maka ụlọ akwụkwọ taa? Or ke maka ụlọ akwụkwọ taa for short. Ke maka ụlọ akwụkwọ taa. How was school today? And the response comes. Everything went well. What is that in Igbo? Ihe niile gara nke ọma. Ihe niile gara nke ọma. Everything went well. Further discussion. What were you taught today? That is a further inquisition from a caring father. Gịnị ka akụziri unu taa? Gịnị ka akụziri unu taa? What were you taught today? And the child says, well, we are taught Igbo language. What is that? Akụziri anyị asụsụ Igbo. Akụziri anyị asụsụ Igbo. Well, we are taught Igbo language. Going further. Were you given homework? Question. Enyere gị ihe omume ụlọ. Look at the way it sounds. Enyere gị ihe omume ụlọ. Were you given homework? The answer comes. Yes, my dad. Which is nam. Nam. Yes, dad. Or yes, my dad. Further instruction. Quickly remove your school uniform, says the parent. Ngwa yipu uwe akwụkwọ gị. Ngwa yipu uwe akwụkwọ gị. Quickly remove your school uniform. Move on. Now again, freshen up and eat your food. Freshen up and eat. What is that in Igbo? Sachaa ahụ ma rie nri. Sachaa ahụ ma rie nri. Freshen up and eat. Move on. Rest a little while or rest a little time. That is zuru ike obere oge or zue ike obere oge. Rest a little while. Zuru ike or zue ike obere oge. Move on from here. Now do your homework, says the caring mom. Now do your homework. But the little girl, okay, in Igbo that means ugbua mee ihe omume ụlọ gị. Now do your homework. Ugbua mee ihe omume ụlọ gị. But the little girl has something to say. She says, it's okay. Please help me, mom. It's okay. Please help me. What is that in Igbo? Ọ dị mma, biko nyere m aka. Ọ dị mma, biko nyere m aka. Here is where we round up the discussion today concerning school conversation. We thank you for watching patiently to this point. We have recommended other videos that will be very helpful for you, and they are displayed right on the screen now. Watch them now and thank us later. Chukwu gozie gị, imeela. See you in the next video.